welcome back to Tactics Talk with Guido. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate your support as always. We are here with Banziduck, and he's driving his VK 100.01 Tier 8 German heavy tank. He's in a 357 top tier. This is a great setup for this tank. He's got two IS-6s and a Type 59 who are going to have a really hard time penning him unless they've dabbed two, and even in that case, they're going to have a few issues. He wants to avoid getting surrounded. He wants to avoid having too many guns in front of him, getting tracked, and having guys being able to zoom right in on his weak spot. So you can see that he's loaded into Paris and he's headed down here to the south. He's got a platoon mate and a T-34. This is a pretty good 1-2 punch. Both of them are going to have a little bit of an issue with their reload times because they're relatively slow, but they're both going to hit hard, and if they can work as a team, this should go pretty well for them. So they're headed down south. The one thing they do have going against them, at least is what it looks like, is there's only 3 of them going down here, but it is all 3 of their tier 8s. They've got the Pershing coming down to help them. Bonzi's taking a look over here. He's got a Type 62 zoomed in here. We're really stuck on the soda straw here, and we run into a wall and we miss. So yeah, I don't know about that, Bonzi. I think I would have just let that shot go, or maybe shot on the move, because what you want to do is get down here where these guys are, and it looks like they've beaten you. I don't know if you have any comms with this guy, if you've got any mic comms, verbal comms, whatever the word is I'm looking for. Good shot there. Even though he's angled, goes right into it. You got a pretty good look down on him, so that was going to help out the penetration there. And now that you get down to his level, though, you're going to have a little bit of an issue with your aiming and what you're choosing to shoot at. And this is going to cause some problem. He just comes out like a bozo, takes a hit in the side, so that's good. And your T-34 is working on the inside. This isn't a bad setup for the echelon thing. With you on the outside, that's tempting them to shoot you more than the T-34, so you need to kind of work on that, or work with that. And now here comes the T-34 reloaded. You're going to come in here. What I would have liked to have seen is you come out, get the shot, bait the shot, and then let them take shots at you. You're more likely to bounce it than for the T-34 to continue to sit there, bait shots, and take hits that they can pen. And the other thing I'm noticing from you down here, a little bit timid. So now you got the IS-2 coming up. You really own these guys down here. You just have better tanks, somewhat better positioning with the 2 of you, but the problem is this T-34 just keeps getting hammered. There you go, and that's what you can expect. He just fired gold at you. He's going to have a hard time as long as you're wiggling and moving back and forth. No need to move that far back. I mean, I would really be up there kind of just challenging them to find a weak spot and go through you. They're just going to have a lot of trouble. Now here comes this IS-6, and you zoom in. This happens a couple times. You're going to choose to shoot here or maybe try to get down here. That's a little bit available to you, but it looks like the T-150's track is actually right there. But see the top of his turret and how he's sort of angled down towards you? That makes that a little bit easier to hit instead of just trying to hit those little hatches right there. You actually have quite a bit of range of what to hit right here. So it might be that the top of this tank is a little better. I think that went into the rocks, just a little unlucky there. I also think that if you zoomed in a little bit more for those real close work kind of shots, you might find that you're having a bit of a better time. Sorry, I had my look there. And I think I'd just get down. Now that your T-34 is hurt, you're his armor. Get down there, take the inside track, and let the 34 work around behind you and use you as armor. And again, just pushing way too back. You're reloaded about now. You should already be up there shooting that guy. And really just not very aggressive down there. Now you got a Type 59 behind you. This surprised me that you didn't take this opportunity to move up forward. You're going to take a hit from him. IS-6 is there. You take another hit from him. Down goes your engine. So he's just picking you apart back there. Finally, a gold round finds its way in there. There's another opportunity for the top of the turret, or maybe the side of the face of the turret, on the cheek right there. It is wise to try not to waste shots. I think if you zoomed in right here, you'd have found, let's see if I can get this going, you'd have found you had a shot right on that. So just pause, zoom in on that, fire away, and that will hit a lot more than it misses. So again, just kind of letting those shots go, and now we're just going to shoot into the track, and that's just really not doing anything. So I would say at least 3 shots left on the table here, damaging shots, which is probably going to would have had them down to near push status. There's another hammer onto him. There you go. So he's found a weak spot again. Probably going through the front. If I was to guess, going through the front of your tank here. Ah, stupid camera. Such a pain. Well, there's one down there. Doesn't look like there's one in your hatch, but they don't always show up correctly. Could have been going up under your tracks. God knows what right there. So they're definitely finding a spot that they can get through with their APCR. And then start moving forward here and go get your shot. Just go in there and shoot the top of that hatch. Another option here is going to HE, which I think you might have just been on, actually. Which brings me to the next subject. I probably would have just pushed 2 in here with the IS-6s. You'd had a much better chance of going through. He was highly armored, just not a good choice on where to shoot him right there. Tiger's being a bit foolish, and this IS-6 comes around here. I'm not sure what his plan. Again, there's another opportunity maybe for the top. Now, you eventually do it, but I'd have pushed up in here a little sooner and get that lower plate protected by this rubble here. And you're starting to lose this thing. You get kind of lucky here. You actually shoot his tracks. That's not the lucky part. You get kind of lucky that they're not able to just come around and swarm you. The good news is that the SU-100 helped you out with taking out that thing. There's another, just a poor choice of where to shoot him. Holy cow, here comes a dive bomber. Down he goes. Now, this was interesting to me. You mess around here for quite a bit. I think, yep, if you'd have zoomed in, I think you would have had shots on top of this guy while being protected by this Hulk. Right now the track's in the way, but you probably could have got between right there. You got shots on him, you have a shot on him. So watch how long it takes you to kind of actually go for a shot. You're just, oh, that's forgot about the Tiger ones. You take him down. So now I think that definitely applies right here to this IS-6. You certainly have shots on. Look at this. You can, well, not right now, but if you move around a little bit, there you go. There's a shot right there. And we're just really kind of futzing around with this dead tank. And I'm pretty sure you're tall enough you could have actually fired over this guy. Su-100's out there. We finally get some better shots in here. He takes one, you go right into that. There you go. You're looking down. One of the nice things about a tall turret is you get some downward vector on the gun, on the shot, and that reduces some of the angling of that front plate. Again, in here, I think you probably had some. Yeah, there you go. You're working on it. Really look for some of those roof shots. That's just you didn't investigate those at all. So whether it's something you just don't want to try to do or you're not aware of it, give that a shot sometimes. Obviously, if you have a higher percentage shot into a lower plate or a look down like you did onto that top plate and you're going to get a penetration, then go for that. But sometimes on those little peekaboo things where guys are hiding behind rubble or tanks or whatever, you can pick a few shots off of their top turret like that, and sometimes they start to panic. They'll make a mistake. Plus, you're reducing HP every time you do it. All right, I'm not going to watch the rest of it. I think you might get one more tank out of this thing. Nope, 4 kills. Let's actually go through that. I'm not sure what happens here, to be quite honest. I'm going to go chipmunk speed. Does the artillery run over and get killed by our artillery? That might be what happens here. You go in here, you go looking for the 3045, who hasn't been seen for quite a long time. Oh, there we go. Yep. Our Hummel destroyed their M12. And you don't end up seeing the 3045 actually gets back and kills our Hummel, but you'll end up capping this thing out and winning. So Bonzi sent me this and said, hey, I'm having a few troubles here and there. Take a look at it. And I would say that, in general, a little bit of a lack of aggression. The positioning was aggressive enough, but just the corner fighting was a little bit weak there as far as aggression goes. A couple issues with aiming and not taking hit points off of the enemy when you could have would have made that a much faster win down in that corner, and probably would have helped you keep at least one of your tank buddies down there alive, and maybe even some of the guys up in the north, as you were able to get out of that corner brawl that lasted for nearly the entire game. But good job overall anyway, man. You end up with 3,300, 4 kills, and a win. Slow and steady will sometimes win the race. All right, Bonzi, I hope you found this useful, and if everybody who's watching, I hope you found it useful and liked it. If you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we will see you.